Morning, everyone. It's 12 noon Mountain Time in Edmonton. We're just gonna wait for 1 or 2 minutes. We're still waiting for more people to join. We're expecting about 20 people to be in attendance at this webinar. So let's wait 1 to 2 more minutes and we'll get started. Thank you. Good afternoon once again, everyone. It's good to have you here today at this webinar, and we're going to make it very short and sweet. And my name is Popo Lakode, and I'm the president of Canadian Imperial Advantage. And I hope everyone here have registered, and that's why we're here. That's why you're here. And we hope that you're going to enjoy this session and you're going to use it for your business growth. Again, our office is in Edmonton, Alberta, and in Western Canada. Happy Black History Month, everyone. It's good to be back here again at this webinar. And today we're going to be talking about credit bureau and personal net worth. Credit bureau and personal net worth. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Who are we at Canadian Imperial Advantage? We have 2 main services at Canadian Imperial Advantage here. We have an entrepreneur development center and a newcomer integration center. And these 2 services, programs, are our core mandates. And we're here to support every business, every Black-owned business, every Edmontonian-owned business, and every Alberta business here in Edmonton. Our vision is to establish supports that will provide every business the opportunity to be able to sustain themselves in these recent times. And this is our vision, and we have our mandate out there. So I won't keep on reading it every day or every time, but you can avail yourself with this on our website. I said, familiarize yourself with what we do on our website. Why did we start this project, this webinar? We started this webinar because recently we've been just Wednesday there, it was announced that Canadian Imperial Advantage has been awarded grant to look after Black business owners in Western Canada. And the title of our project is Black Business Advancement Projects. And these are our programs. We have different programs. This webinar is part of our programs. We have Ask an Accountant, we have Bootcamp, we have Academy, we have Business Incubator, we have the CEO Roundtable that I'm going to be talking about in a short while. We have shared office space for everybody. Any entrepreneur that wants to grow and does not want to work from his home or wants an office environment. This boardroom here is available for use for everybody that wants to use it, in as much as you make your bookings. We have the Youth Entrepreneurship and Mentorship Program. We have the Business Advisory Services, in which we guide you on how you set up, the type of company you should set up, the kind of organization you should set up, the kind of business bank account you should have, right? The kind of bank you should choose to bank with. We tell you everything, and we guide you from start to finish. And there are our business advisory services. Above all, we know that the essence of doing business is to make money. But how do you make money? You need money to make money. Our core offering at Canadian Imperial Advantage is to help you to access capital after providing you with all these services, after engaging you, training you with all these tools. We want to be able to help you to access the capital, the funds that you need, be it private funds and public funds. When we say private, be it from private lenders, from the mainstream banks, anyone that you can think of, we will be able to help you. I have over 22 years banking experience, and I've been using that to help our business owners here in Edmonton. Just last year, we funded over $50 million, and this year we've already funded $2 million. We have a lot of deals in the pipeline right now, and that is our core offering. And we will, advise you to tap into it and, take advantage of what is available to you. Our upcoming event, like I said, the CEO Roundtable is our upcoming event. It's going to happen on March the 12th, 2002 at 12 o'clock, 12 noon. Lunch will be provided for sure. What are you going to, what is the topic of the day? Profitability and business growth. The last time it was how to raise capital for your business. But now you've raised the capital, you need to be profitable and you need to grow your business. That's what we're going to be talking about this coming Saturday, this coming edition, March 12, 2022. These are the program highlights, and it's also on our website. Make sure you make your bookings, make sure you register to attend. It's going to be global. Yes, let's swing into the action of today, which is the main reason for convening today to be here. What is a credit bureau? What is a credit bureau? A credit bureau, sometimes referred to as your credit reporting agency, they are third-party organizations. They collect and compile information regarding your credit history from banks, other financial institutions, government offices, Office of the Superintendent of Bankruptcy, Office of the Superintendent of Financial Institutions, Alberta Diverse Licensing, Alberta, Registry, or whatnot. In Canada, though, there are two major consumer credit bureaus. We have the Equifax and the Transgenial. And they compile this information. They are the third party to you. And they also provide it to another third party. Oh, maybe we should limit it to, they are the organization so that we can have a better understanding, and they provide this information to the third party for their users. And what do they use it for? To access your credit worthiness. That is the essence. But not only that, though, and we're going to be talking about what other uses this credit report is meant for. What types of information get reported to credit bureau? Your personal information, your name, your address history, where you've lived in the last 5 years, 15 years, depending on how often you update your credit bureau, how often you go for credit. Credit account information, your credit cards, your line of credits, your loans, even your normal checking account, your trade lines. What do we mean by trade lines? All those in-store credits that you get, all those credit cards that are linked to purchases from Canadian Tire, Hudson Bay, all those ones, they are trade lines. That necessarily they are not credit cards, but they are cards in which you get discounts on things that you purchase. Inquiry information. Some people just want to check you out. Your landlord wants to check you out before he gives you the property. Public records and collections information. Any publicly available information about you that will impact your credit, that will impact your credit worthiness to a third party, it's going to be recorded. These are the things that these organizations, the lending institutions, will take into consideration when they want to give you a credit. And there are other ones too that they may not take into consideration, which you're going to be talking about. How is your credit information used? Sorry, I didn't even ask. Can you all see my screens?
Yes.
Thank you. How is your credit information being used? To make decisions about your lending request? But other companies with permissible purposes can also pull a copy of your credit report. Like I mentioned earlier, your landlord is not giving you credit, but he wants to know how you've lived your life because that's your character. He doesn't know you from anywhere. But your credit report is your character. It's a character that somebody that does not know you would see. And he wants to know how you've been paying your bills in the past so that he can give you the house that you want to, rent from him. For identification purposes. Some people want to make sure that, okay, you live in the address that you claim that you live. How long have you been there? If you are the one that moves from one place to the other every 6 months, every 1 year, people are not interested in you. Because if anything happens, there's no way we're going to be able to track you down and give you the credits that you want or get our money off you. So they want to be able to identify you. They want to be able to know where you live. They want to be able to know what you do. So people use that as well. For security purposes, some of us have worked in the banks before. Like I said, I have over 22 years banking experience. Before you're given a job in the bank, there's going to be a credit report on you. They're going to check your credit report. They want to see what you've done with your money. There's something that there's a training that you get on the first day in the bank, depending on which bank or how experienced your banker is, or your boss is, who's hiring you. And it is the money that we see in the bank are our products. That's what we sell. It's not for you. So if you have bad credit, all your credits have been maxed out, there's a tendency that you're likely going to be in need of money. And that money, the money that you see in the bank may actually, get into your head and you might end up stealing some. So they want to know that. And for security purposes, you want to work in defense, with the Canadian Defense, office, or any top organizations that deals with intelligence, they want to know about you for security purposes. And for you to know it, you can request for a free copy of your credit report anytime from these credit agencies. You can request, it's free. You can request for your credit report. And you can also sign up online to any of these guys so that you can be monitoring it every month. If you actually, whenever you are in need of credit, whenever you want to go in to get any credit, make sure 6 months down the line, you're checking your report to make sure you correct any anomaly that you find on it. Inaccurate or incomplete information in your credit report. Be sure to file a dispute and correct it. You can do that by fax, email, or over the phone. And if you think the error is a fraud or identity theft, please be sure to indicate it on your dispute file so that you don't have to explain too much. When they see anything, any inquiry or any reports on your file, you don't have to explain too much. It's already there. You've already notified them. So the third party will believe you rather than you just saying it and you're just making the story up. I'll be sure to contact the company that reported the information as well and get a letter from them to say that that was not the case, you were not the one, and everything has been resolved. It is very, very key. And I've used that in my previous lending experience to get people credit. When the credit score was about 550, I was still able to get him credit because we had other evidence that he has provided to us. And he has disputed the file on his file. The personal credit score. What is it? It's just a 3-digit number. But what does that number tell us? It tells us the likelihood that you're going to be able to pay your bills. It tells us your credit worthiness. It tells us how you've been living your life in the past financially. There may be different credit scores and credit score and scoring models. Yes, and we're going to get into that. Higher credit scores generate results in more favorable credit terms. Absolutely. Yes, if you have higher credit score, your interest rate is likely going to be very low if you have high credit score, because what that means is that other institutions are looking at you, or if you walk into another institution, they're going to be able to give you credit. So this institution will not want to lose your business. So they want to keep it as low as possible so that you don't go away because you have access to credit. And we're going to get to how do you arrive at having higher credit score to have access to credit. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Credit score ranges, depending on the credit scoring model that is being used. This is an Equifax model, right? You can see 300 to 579 is poor, 580 to 669 is fair, and the next is good, very good, and excellent. This is a Transgenial model. 300 to 692 is fair or poor, put it that way. While the next one, 693 to 742 is fair. Yeah, 41% to 60% is good, very good, and excellent. This is up to 900. What are the contents of your credit report? What are the contents? These are the sections you're going to see. These are the sections of your credit report. These are the sections of your credit report. This is what makes your credit report. Because they have personal information from someone, so I couldn't put the details here. But I'll explain to you in details what this means. This is your account summary. What does that mean? That's where your score shows up. Okay? That's where your score shows up. That's where you see your address as well. And that's what tells us, in summary, what you're all about. And the next one is the personal information. So the personal information also shows your name, your previous names, your address, your previous addresses. If you've been, if you've lived in so many places within the last 5 years, it's going to show us all of those addresses in that section. It's also going to tell us the number of accounts you have opened, the number of credit cards. The number of accounts includes everything, not just one thing. Everything, credit card, line of credit, any credit facility, loans, mortgages. It's going to tell us the number you have. It's going to tell us the total monthly payment you make. Yeah, it has calculated everything. On this credit card, you make 250 monthly payments. This 250, everything in total, you would have calculated it. And it shows us that. And that's very tricky, because if that is high, whenever you go in for any credit, that's already showing there. And you also you're going for a credit that you're going to be paying. Maybe you're paying about, maybe you earn $5,000 net a month. And it shows here that you're paying $1,500 monthly in all your outgoings, in all your credits. And you have gone into the bank again to ask for another loan that you're going to be paying about $1,500 again. The bank sees this as a no-no. So the inquiries is the number of inquiries that you've had recently in the last 6 years, usually. It's normally there. The number of inquiries you've had, how many times people have gone to check you out. So it's very important to stay away from going for credit every time. If you want to go for credit the same period of time and stop. Because that would be counted as one season. When that year is over, it's over. So it's going to tell us the number of inquiries you've had in the last few years. The higher the number of inquiries, the less likely you're going to get credit. Why? Because they see you moving around, jumping the ship, trying to get something. That means you may not have good credit. The account section is where we have every of your accounts. In that account section, this is what you're going to have. You're going to have your account name, balance date, payment, and payment term. If this is monthly, the monthly payments, the balance date, the last time it was reported, monthly usually, the balance, if your line of credit is $10,000, balance date, maybe 31st of January, 2022. Maybe you pay $250 per month, and it's going to say monthly here. And it's going to say, okay, TD line of credit. You need to check all of this. You need to be aware of